Hey everybody. Hey Libra. Welcome to this space. Welcome to the Aquarius full moon. We're going to talk about this Aquarius full moon. We're going to talk about how you're feeling, what you're thinking, maybe, possibly, you know, what kind of thoughts are going to be popping into your head, what's going on in your relationships with your money, and any type of advice that, you know, I can give you from my ancestors regarding your circumstances or your experiences right now under this Aquarius full moon for the next month or so before we hit Virgo season, okay? Or maybe entering Virgo season, okay? Take what resonates, leave what does not. Please check your sun, moon, and rising placements. This is for sun, moon, and rising placements of Libra. Please check your moon and or rising placements for deeper resonance. I'm sorry. We have a lot of planetary transits that are really affecting us in such a major way. Okay, guys? So please bear that in mind. If you feel like you're just being dragged through the streets, you're being dragged through cobblestone or whatever, like, or concrete, it's because in a way we are, because we have some things that we really need to open our eyes to. And I think some of the gods, some of the planets and the cosmic beings, they're kind of tired of seeing us like just kind of waddle around. You know, they're kind of tired of us beating around the bush. They're kind of tired of us missing the point in certain areas of our lives. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Libra, sun, moon, and rising signs. I'm reading for both Western and sidereal astrological charts, so please bear that in mind as well. If you'd like to check out your sidereal placements of Libra in your sun, moon, or rising signs, which I think it would be just your sun sign that would change. All right, Libra, Mars entered your sign a few days ago. Okay. Things can just feel very, very windy, very foggy, very misty. Not really sure like what to do or what to say within your connections, you know. Mercury's still in retrograde for the next day or two. You know, we're out of the thick of it, but, you know, we're still kind of feeling like we're fumbling around in the fog, or fumbling around, you know, in the dark a little bit. Saturn is in retrograde in Aries. Chiron's in retrograde. I believe Neptune is still in retrograde. Neptune is in Aries, and Pluto is in retrograde. Venus is in Cancer. Our relationships are getting some rude awakenings, some much needed changes and transformations, right? Like I just said, death. I didn't even read the top of the card. I was just looking at the illustration on the card. But you got the card death. So things, we are in the year, numerologically speaking, this year of 2025 is year number 9, okay, according to our modern day numerology calendars, okay? Whoa, okay, bottom of the deck, it says transformation. What was I just saying? What was I just saying? This is insane. That's Libra. You guys, depending on what degree of Libra you have and where it's placed in your chart, you guys can really be feeling this Aquarius full moon. You guys can really be feeling, yeah, gradual progress. Some of you guys have had some endings because of this year number 9 energy. So you guys could really be feeling some intense vibration, some intense energy. Some of you guys, maybe you have had a death happen in your family, or you've had a death happen in your life. Maybe you lost someone and you're just kind of going through it, you know. But when this person exited this dimension, there were some changes, some changes that, you know, started to arise in your life. You know, it still went hand in hand with some changes that you needed to go through in your life with this loss of a person. Some of you guys, you are dealing with maybe a loss of a relationship, a loss of a job, okay? Whatever loss you have experienced in your life, for those of you guys who have experienced loss. I'm so sorry, guys. There's a fly in here and it just will not go away, and it's so annoying. Sorry. It came from outside and it just won't go back outside. It's very annoying. But I'm just getting that. Give me 1 second, Libra. I'm so sorry. Sorry about that, Libra. That was very distracting. So apparently there's another fly that got in here. There was more than one. So I'm just getting this energy for you guys, like with this death and gradual progress and this energy of rhythm. You have this at the bottom of the deck. So what I'm getting is that there are some things that just, you know, I get this energy of needing to start over again, like having a fresh start. And maybe some of you guys are just kind of feeling like, man, I've done so much work and now I got to start from square one, or now I got to start over. Or it just kind of has that feeling of like, wow, I got to like, it's almost like learning how to drink water again, or learning how to walk again. For, you know, like that's just kind of how it feels in a situation. And that can be difficult. You know, it could be that you're just trying to find your rhythm again. Maybe you've moved recently, and you know, maybe you live in a different time, like a different time zone. Maybe you're learning to like sleep better, or get your there's something about rhythm. There's something about, I'm also getting circadian rhythm. So there's something here. Maybe it's just like regulating something, you know, just kind of regulating your nervous system. I get the sense some of you guys have maybe gotten injured recently. Like, you know, you've had a really bad injury or an illness where you had to go through physical therapy. There could be some damaged muscles or an organ in your body that, again, just kind of needs some rehabilitation. Or maybe, again, maybe you could have like gotten out of a long-term marriage or a long-term relationship, or maybe somehow you just had to move from one place to another. And I'm just getting the sense that it may feel like you're just kind of starting all over. I'm not saying that that's what it is. I'm just saying that that could just be how it feels, right? Now we have the energy of Aries, and Aries is, I believe, is your sister sign or your brother sign. It's your opposing sign. Aries does have something to offer you, something to tell you, something to share with you. So take a look at Aries readings, or just look at the astrology of Aries at this time and see. I mean, Aries is in your sign, I think, currently still. So when it comes to where you live, when it comes to your home aesthetic, or when it just comes to the way things look, when it comes to the truth of your relationships, you know, not just what's going on in the surface, but what's going on at its core in any relationship. Yeah, we have the moon here. This is a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, but it can also be the Aquarius moon, is full moon that we're under right now. This has a lot to do with your intuition, your instincts, your natural rhythm. And maybe your natural rhythm has kind of been knocked off. You know, it's just kind of knocked off its path here. There's something with your emotions at this time under this Aquarius full moon that needs healing. Yeah, so there's something that happened. There's some things that have been happening to you, Libra, that just feel, it just feels very heavy, very frustrating, very unforgiving for some of you. Maybe you just feel like this is not fair. Why is, you know, some of you guys are just, you know, maybe just wondering, why couldn't this be a smoother transition? I don't know. But there is the need to kind of to regulate, to recalibrate, to just adjust and adapt to where you're at now. You have Gemini here. So it's kind of like just kind of opening yourself up to new opportunities, or to differences in others, or just opening yourself to just maybe a new way of thinking, a new way to identify yourself for some of you. Some of you guys may have this feeling of, you know, there's nothing more for me here, or, you know, what am I supposed to do now? And it's like, just stay curious, right? Stay curious. Continue down your path. It's just that, you know, you just hit a point in your path where you might have been injured in some way, physically, emotionally, mentally. And some, you know, you've just been, whatever you've been going through, Libra, you know, for some of you, it's changed you. It's changed you in certain ways, and you're trying to figure out how to get back to, maybe not get back to, but how to rise above all of this, and how to, you know, regulate your nervous system again. There may have been some things that you didn't see coming that hurt you, or that really affected you emotionally. Obstacles. Yeah, you guys have been dealing with a lot of obstacles. And, you know, obstacles are always going to be there, y'all. They're always going to be there. However, this Aquarius full moon is trying to teach you how to, and also these planetary transits as well, they're trying to teach you how to pay attention to your environment and understand your karma, understanding your, understanding yourself on a deeper level. Maybe there were some bridges, burned down that shouldn't have been. Maybe you were driven by your emotions and anger, and it got you into some trouble, or it got you a bit more injured or hurt than you should have been. Whatever has happened up until this time and into the near future, Libra, there was something for you to learn. There were some entities, some spirits, some guardians and protectors who were saying, hey, Libra, here's something for you to learn from this. And some of you may have been thinking, like, do I really need to learn more? Why is there more for me to learn? Well, as long as you're living and breathing, and even if you're not, you know, the day that we move on to the, you know, behind the veil with our ancestors and with, you know, with those who passed on before us, there is still more to learn. There are many, many lifetimes that we experience as souls before we master anything. Have you mastered anything just yet, Libra? I would say the answer is no. And that is what it is to be human. You can't master everything, and you can't master something in, you know, in 1 year, right? It takes a while. Sometimes it takes a whole lifetime for someone to really understand themselves and understand the deeper meaning of their existence, right? It looks like the ancestors want me to stop shuffling there. But when it comes to your relationships, or just your entire relationships with other people in general, if you close yourself off and you're just like, I'm so tired of learning this lesson, well, that's a losing battle. It's almost like a child. You know, we look at children, right? And we know as adults, we know what it's like to be a child. We know what it's like to make mistakes. We know the feeling of being overly confident in our capabilities when we were kids. And when we look at children who are trying to do adult things, no matter how smart they are still children. Let's go ahead and clarify these cards really quickly. They're still children. And so whenever a child is trying to do adult things, or they're trying to accomplish things that an adult only can accomplish because of their, you know, our mental state as we grow, if we've actually grown and improved and matured, right? Because not all adults are grown and mature. But we can look at that child and say, hey, not yet. It's not your time yet. But that child or that teenager is like, no, I'm ready. You know, you have some kids who feel like they're 16 years old and that means that they're grown. That is, no. It's kind of the same thing with the universe, except we're not dealing with like a few decades. We're dealing with like time and space. These are beings that have experiences that you've gone through, Libra, to teach you something that it's really up to you to master, and you have to surrender to anything your soul is telling you is right or wrong. If your soul is telling you that you're missing the mark and you're off kilter, or you've lost track, then that you need to follow that every single time. There are always going to be obstacles, no matter what you're dealing with, good or bad. Any blessing that you have, that you experience in your life, there's going to be some type of challenge there. It's not just the bad experiences. It's not just the sad and frustrating experiences that have obstacles. There's always going to be obstacles, whether we like it or not. And some of you guys have had to withstand these obstacles alone. And the reason why is because you're supposed to. These obstacles are here to teach you something about you. Three of Discs or Three of Pentacles is all about like creativity, the work that, you know, the work that you've put in on your own, Libra. It's time to like force yourself to look in the mirror and look at the work that you've done, to continue to be curious. Some of you guys are dealing with a Gemini, a Pisces, an Aries, or a Taurus. Could be dealing with a Scorpio. Let's go ahead and clarify the Hierophant. I'm just getting this really big energy, Libra, that you're not just getting, dumped on by the universe or by God. That's not what's happening. The universe and God the gods have way bigger fish to fry than to dump on one person, okay? It's almost like going out into nature and finding like one creature, or one, bumblebee or ladybug, and just dumping a bunch of dirt on them, only them specifically. That's kind of crazy, right? That's kind of weird, especially when they're not bothering you, right? But like, this is not about dumping anything, the gods or the universe just dumping on you, because that's just not how they work. Now, there are entities and people who are triggered, may have been triggered by you, and they may have caused some pain, in your life. And maybe you're just in a line of fire, or maybe they deliberately wanted you to feel hurt, but that is where you need to learn to follow your greatest teacher. The best teacher that you have is inside of you, and it's called your soul, your spirit, the ghost that lives in your body, your intuition, your spidey senses, Libra. There's something here where you guys are not Some of you guys are not paying attention to what you're doing. You're not paying attention. It's almost like there's a situation where the way you move, or the way you're speaking, the way you're doing things is coming across as a bit juvenile for some of you. And it's not with everything. It's just for some of you, it's in a specific situation. And for those of you, if you're a cross watcher, okay, either you or your Libra person, could be a family member, a friend, or a significant other who, again, you or that Libra person is acting a bit juvenile. That means that there's just a lot that needs to be learned. You're not there yet. And it's okay to not be there yet. That just means that there's more to learn until you do get there. But with the wild card, you got the wild card here. And this shows me that anything is possible. Let's clarify what the wild card is talking about. Anything is possible for your future. With the wild card, it's like, whatever you choose, Libra, if it's good, there's so many possibilities, good possibilities. But if you're choosing the different route, there's a lot of bad possibilities with that. Doesn't matter what you choose, left or right, there's possibilities. And some of you guys may just feel like your life is just a wild card. You're just like, I'm just waiting for the next shoe to drop, or I'm waiting for plans to fall through. I'm waiting for the next person to hurt me, or whatever. Whatever the case may be. And that is why your intuition is here to teach you, hey, pay attention. Don't just do things willy-nilly, right? As you move forward, your chariot is going to take you in certain directions, and you have to be ready for whatever direction your life takes. But also understand that you have control as well, as long as you are, interacting with the right energies within you to navigate this map. It's almost like asking, like some type of mysterious, I don't know what kind of fantasy creature, but some type of wise person or wise creature to just like guide you in the right direction in a forest or something. And they know exactly where the landmarks are. They know exactly, they know the order to the chaos, but you don't. But, you trust that they know more than you, right? You have to trust that your soul knows more than you. And wherever it's guiding you, you have to be like, this doesn't look right. This doesn't seem right to me, but I trust it. I have to trust it, right? You have to trust it. It's your soul. Your soul has been around for God knows how long. But there's some obsession here. There's some type of obsession here, Libra. There's some codependent behavior. Like it's almost like you only depend on good things to show you the way, or you only depend on the bad things to just determine what direction you should take or what you should do. Maybe there's drugs or alcohol involved. There's some kind of an addiction or obsession here. But let's go ahead and clarify these cards really quickly. I'm just getting the sense that you guys are very independent beings. You guys have gone through a lot on your own, right? It's not like you guys don't have help. You guys do. But I'm also getting that there are some choices when it comes to your relationships that you need to make. Some serious choices. Some of you guys, this is also like, maybe you guys are very affectionate physically, like you love giving hugs, you love, you're like very touchy-feely, maybe not in a creepy way, but it's like, you love giving hugs. You may like to give, depending on what culture you're from, you give people kisses on the cheek. If this is a romantic partner, like, you do need a lot of sexual attention for some of you. And I'm also getting that some of you guys may be a little bit obsessive over a relationship, or you just tend to just get into any old relationship because you're afraid of being alone. So some of you guys have made the decision, I just want to be single, because maybe you realize that, relationships just never really pan out for you. And that's okay, but there's something to be learned there. There's something to be learned here with the Nine of Pentacles, clarifying the obstacle card. But you, with the Queen of Cups here, some of you guys, your emotions are guiding you, and that is where the training and the discipline is needed. You guys need discipline when it comes to your emotional body, Libra. We all do. This Aquarius full moon is teaching us that, teaching us balance within emotions, right? And because you guys have been going through it on your own, it's like you guys are just, you're really in protective mode with the Seven of Wands here with this Leo energy. So you guys really, there's some type of a relationship where it ended, something ended, and it may have ended not on the best terms. Okay, let's go ahead and clarify this Queen of Cups and the Hierophant. But this relationship could have ended because there was so much drama, or there was too much emotional chaos going on that nobody could really see clearly of what it is that they were doing. I'm getting also that in your relationships with other people, you have to not jump to conclusions. I was saying this to Aries, but there's this energy of, you know, this flightiness that I'm getting, and not allowing things to gradually grow. It's like you may get into relationships way too quickly, right? Or you may, you know, leave a situation. Maybe you moved and you were just like, whatever, I'm just going to move. Like, you could have been living your life like that, Libra, where it's just like, you know what, I'm just going to move. I'm going to move to this country. I'm just going to move to this state, or I'm just going to, and you know, it could just happen abruptly. And maybe some of you guys are just sitting with yourself like, I probably shouldn't have did that. Or, you know, just kind of having to live with the decision that you made, the abrupt decision that you made. Now, we do have the Temperance card. So this is definitely bringing things into balance when it comes to the emotions and when it comes to relationships. And this blasted tower, this tower energy, this is Scorpio. There is some occurrences that you may not see coming. That is going to be your classroom. That is going to be your training grounds to grow emotionally. So if you find yourself, Libra, hopping, okay, hopping between scenarios, hopping between relationships, or hopping back and forth between living situations, or maybe you've been married here and there and you just never could commit. Like, there's something about commitment. There's also something here where maybe in your committed relationships at work or at home that you really need to open yourself to gradual growth. Things that don't happen overnight, that's okay. They're not supposed to, right? The only thing that should happen overnight is a good night's rest. Okay, we have the Star card. Yep. So there are those of you, some of you guys, I'm also getting some of you guys didn't see that an Aquarius that was going to come into play. For some of you, there is somebody that you, and there's a Gemini here too. So some of you guys, you did not see a Gemini or a Taurus. You didn't see somebody coming into play. This was a new energy. This is a brand new energy that's come into your life, or this is a brand new energy that might be challenging you. It could be a person, it could be a planet, it could be the moon. But there is something that, you know, there's something here about maturity. Okay. I'm getting the sense that when it comes to your sexual relationships, when it comes to your children, if you have children, there's something here that you don't expect. There's something here that you don't expect, or something that happened already that you didn't expect to happen. And some of you guys, if you're in a relationship where there's a lot of drama, you might be caught up in the drama, or you're caught up in something. Somebody's caught up in something. But there is this need to connect with self. I feel like I've been telling everybody this. I'm going to pull some advice really quickly. But there's this energy of just being like, oh, well, whatever happens, happens. And it's like, yeah, but no. It's like, what do you want to happen? And if, you know, think about it, like, what do you want from this situation? And if it's not a situation, like, what is it that you're looking for? What are you running towards? What are you expecting? If you're looking for a healthy relationship, then, you know, again, there's some deeper spiritual like a deep spiritual journey that you're on right now. And there may be some things that you didn't see coming that happen, and you may be thinking more on a mundane level. You're thinking more surface level, but deep down in the spirit realm, like there is a lot more that you need to experience. There's a lot more that you need to see, Libra. Let's go ahead and clarify. I mean, not clarify. Let's pull some advice for Libra's sun, moon, and rising sign for their advice for this Aquarius full moon energy. Like, where are you going, Libra? Like, what are you doing? Yeah, we have union. So some of you guys, you're dealing with a partner that you want to marry in the future, or you're dealing with somebody. Yeah, there's something about some kind of union, a marriage, a relationship, a business partnership where, but okay, so your future. There's somebody that you have a vision about, or a vision for, or with in the future. And some of you guys, you've talked to this person, you've sent messages to this person. Okay. Loving messages, like, and some of you guys, you have feelings for this person. You could be dealing with the Pisces, but I'm getting like, you guys want stability with someone. That's what you guys want. You want stability with someone. They could be a water sign. They could be a little bit younger than you. I'm still getting this energy of needing to mature here, needing to be strong throughout the obstacles, because everything that has happened to you, whether you're with this person or not, whether whether it's a job or whatever, do you have a vision for your future, Libra? I'm specifically speaking to the Libra's moon and rising placements. Okay, do you have a vision for your future? Or do you just kind of look at your life and you're like, well, life's been kind of crappy. It's been kind of shitty. So I guess this is just how it is. No. I mean, if that's how you want it to be, fine. But I'm just getting the sense, I feel like I'm all over the place, and that's the thing. It's like I feel like you guys, like whatever circumstance you're dealing with, or whoever you're dealing with, is like you or this other person like have no idea of a vision for the future within a company, with your finances, with a romantic partnership. It's like you're feeling a little bit foggy on that. You're just like, I don't know. That's just what I'm getting. I'm getting you or someone is like, I don't know. And your advice is to have a vision for the future, for yourself. And if you want to be with someone and they want to be with you, you need to have a vision. Do you see yourself marrying this person? No. Okay, so then what? Is it just going to be a long-term relationship without marriage? If that's so, like, these things you should become conversating, right? But anything is possible. But your decisions come into play here, big time. Your decisions, your movements, the things that you say, everything, all of it is karma, whether it's good or bad. The good or bad is just based on like the outcome, right? But Libra, there is something new, something very hopeful here for you. Something or someone that has been brought to you to help you on this journey. And there is the need to stop running, or there is this need to stop like moving so quickly. There is the need to stop doubting the situation just because the progress isn't there yet. That's big on yet. If you've been injured, if this is an ailment, if this is an illness, and you've been going to get tests, you've been going to physical therapy, you've been this, you've been that, gradual, even the smallest bit of progress is progress. You know what I mean? Like, think of a person who's paralyzed. If they can move, like, if they are able to move one pinky toe or one finger just a little bit, that is huge, right? Because those nerves are supposed to be dead, right? So there may be something in your mind, Libra, where you feel like, no, this is dead for me. This is not going to happen for me, right? There is a small glimmer of hope that is showing you, hey, it's still alive. We're still alive, Libra. So don't give up on your future so fast. Don't give up on the goodness in your future just because of the way things look or how they have looked for however long. Okay? Does that make sense? Just practice patience here. Regulate your nervous system. And that's going to take time. That's not something that's going to happen again within a day, within 24 hours, not even 48 hours. This may take months. This may take a year. I don't know. But there is some stability here in love. There's stability, there's hopes and dreams for the future. There's a vision here that, you know, keep the vision alive, Libra. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on your future. Don't. The obstacles that you've experienced, they weren't just there just to dump on you. Again, that's not how the universe works, and that is not how God works. But when it comes to other people and circumstances that you get yourself involved with who may not be good people or supportive, you know, people in your life, those might be the culprit. Those are the people that you probably should stop talking to. Therefore, you are the one in control there. So if there are those of you thinking like God is this, God is that, you know, or, you know, God hates me, or, you know, God is just a kid with an anthill, blah, 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 or the universe hates me, blah, blah, blah. No, it's not what's happening. What's happening is you've lost love for yourself and your future, and you just kind of been wandering around in a situation, or just wandering into bad situations, or wandering into disappointment, or wandering into situations that, this is for some of you, not all of you, that, you know, are a little bit painful, you know, wandering into groups of people or into a relationship that was destined to hurt you because you weren't paying attention, or because you were moving too fast. Your intuition is key. Your intuition is key, Libra. Your intuition is key. Your spirit is key. When your spirit is saying, hey, don't do this. If you have somebody in your life, no matter how stubborn you were being, if they were saying, hey, don't do this, don't get into that relationship, don't move into that city, don't move to that country or to that state, or blah, blah, blah. Those were the signs. Those were the, you know, the signals being sent to you saying, Libra, watch out. Right? Like, Libra, leave it alone. Leave them alone. Don't get affiliated with them. Don't get involved with that situation. Stay put, right? Or get out of a situation, what have you. But you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. Let this full moon help you out. Let this full moon help you out. Start listening, start paying attention. Okay? Let life guide you and let your soul train you. All right? You'll come out on the other side so much stronger and so much more capable. Much love and light to all of you. I wish you guys the very best of luck on this journey. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I hope to see you guys in your next reading. Bye, y'all.